Welcome, friends, to my house of horrible things. A museum of the macabre, a collection of the creepy, a bunch of really weird stuff. A poet once wrote, "The female of the species is more deadly than the male." And here, in this jar, I have the proof. Now, I'm sure you've seen many a pickled head before, but none like this. This is all that remains of the demon Mahishashura, a creature of awesome power who once ruled over an empire of evil that covered the earth. But the story of how he came to be in his present sorry state is a tale to chill the blood. Now, let me see. Yes, here we are. Mahishashura started life as just another demon with your average demonic powers. He was a shapeshifter, or changeling if you prefer, which means he could alter his appearance to look like any beast he chose. But Mahishashura had ambition. He wanted to rule the world, and to achieve that, he was going to need more than the power to grow horns and moo. So he prayed to the god Brahma that he would be granted a wish. But being a demon, Mahishashura had a long way to go to convince the god that he was worthy of blessing. Mahishashura prayed, fasted, did yoga, read all of Brahma's books, went on pilgrimages, gave money to the poor, anything to appear like Brahma's most devoted follower. And it worked. One day, Brahma appeared to him and said, "As a reward for your dedication, I will grant you your heart's desire." And Mahishashura knew exactly what to ask for. "I want to be invulnerable," he said. "In what?" said Brahma. "Invulnerable, invincible, indestructible. You know, so that no man can harm me." "Oh, well, why didn't you just say that?" said Brahma. And with a wave of his hand, Mahishashura got his wish. And he became a legend, a name to be whispered in fear. Mahishashura, the mighty demon that no man could kill. He ripped through villages, towns, and cities, his army growing all the time, crushing all resistance and building his empire of evil. No one on earth could stop him. But the earth wasn't enough for Mahishashura. He wanted heaven, too, so he went to war against the gods. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and the other deities were powerless to stop the invincible demon and his army of fiends, so they hid together in the mountains. "This has gone on long enough," said Shiva. "We get Brahma to take away this demon's invulnerability and we can destroy him." "I can't," said Brahma. "Why not?" said Vishnu. "Well, I made him invulnerable so no man could harm him, and that includes taking away his invulnerability." "Oh, because then he could be harmed. I get it," said Shiva. "Wait a moment," said Vishnu. "If Brahma made it so no man can harm him, let's make a woman who can." So, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva combined their powers to create Durga, a warrior goddess strong enough to meet Mahishashura in battle and win. The gods donated an array of weapons to help her defeat the demon army. Vishnu's discus, Kubera's mace, Indra's thunderbolts, Vayu's bow, Surya's arrows, Agni's fire, Vishwakarma's axe, Shiva's trident, Kala's sword, and Brahma's holy water. Always useful against creatures of the night. Durga led her army into battle, riding on the back of a magnificent lion. But Mahishashura wasn't impressed. "Hello, little girl," he said. "Got lost on the way to school?" But she just laughed at him. "Ha ha ha!" And for the first time in years, Mahishashura wondered if he'd just made a big mistake. battle commenced, and Durga was in the heart of it, all 10 arms whirling death. The fight went on for days, but eventually Durga's army began to drive back the demons. But Mahishashura had a secret weapon, the demon warrior Raktabija. He ran onto the battlefield and fought with all the strength and ferocity of any demon, but this one enjoyed the killing too. And he had a terrible surprise in store for those who tried to oppose him. His first wound of the battle, and dark red drops of blood splattered over the soil. But from each gory puddle, arms sprouted out of the ground and grew like big, ugly plants reaching for the sky. Very soon, whole bodies had grown, each one identical to Raktabija. Their eyes popped open, they stretched, they grabbed fallen weapons, and they joined the battle. Every time a drop of Raktabija's blood hit the soil, another clone sprang up, and soon there was an army of Raktabijas. The more they fought, the more clones were created. They were unstoppable. But Durga had a surprise of her own. She closed her eyes, concentrating hard, and slowly she began to transform. Her skin darkened, her hair grew, her muscles bulged, her teeth grew longer and sharper.
I am Kali, goddess of death,
she roared, and threw herself back into the fight. Kali grabbed hold of a Raktabija clone and bit deep into his neck. She drank his blood until the demon was completely drained. Not a single drop was spilled on the ground. Kali's powers grew as Raktabija's blood coursed through her veins, and with lightning speed she danced across the battlefield, slicing through the demon army like a bloody tornado. And every time she found one of Raktabija's clones, she drank it dry. Suddenly, Mahishashura found himself alone on the battlefield with Kali. 9 days of battle, and it came down to this: a demon and a goddess. Kali transformed back into Durga. She called to her lion, climbed onto his back, and stared down at Mahishashura. "If you're expecting me to surrender," he said, "you're going to be disappointed." He shapeshifted, became a buffalo, and charged. Durga swung her sword at the beast as her lion neatly sidestepped the charge. So Mahishashura changed into a body with a thicker hide, an elephant, and wound his trunk tightly around the lion's neck. Durga was thrown off, but landed lightly on her feet and hacked at the elephant's trunk until it let go. Mahishashura transformed into a lion, the exact double of Durga's, and leapt at him. Mahishashura thought that in the confusion, Durga wouldn't know which lion was which, but the real lion knew better how to fight with teeth and claws. So Mahishashura retreated and returned to his normal shape. Durga calmly climbed back onto her lion and waited for the demon to surrender. But Mahishashura wasn't beaten yet. With the last of his energy, he began the transformation back into a buffalo. But Durga pinned him to the ground with her trident, and with one strike of her sword... Which brings Mahishashura and our story to an end. As the poet said, the female of the species is more deadly than the male. Mahishashura made the mistake of judging Durga by her appearance and underestimated her horribly. A strange mistake for a shapeshifter to make, you might think, because you should never judge anyone at all, by their appearance.